皆さんどうも、ライドと申します。Hi everyone, Kanji Café, Book 1, and we are continuing this series. We just finished 80 kanji, which is in the table before the 80 on the left side. Now we're gonna go to grade 2, which they study in grade 2 elementary schools in Japan. And you can see that this is sheet 1 and sheet 2. We're gonna cover both, right? If you look at the kanji, we already did a lot. For example, in terms of building blocks to memorize the next kanji, we know this, we know this, we know this. It's getting easier and easier. Now we're just going to get smarter by creating the mnemonics, and the next 20 will be super easy. Thus, if you check the time, it's not going to take too much time, and starting at 81 here at the top. If you want the PDF and Anki files, you can get that in the description. If you want the physical book, wherever you live, I can get that done and to you as well. There's a link. Now you can also check the playlist in the link in the description if you are totally lost, but I'm using all the kanji we've learned and creating new ones as we go. 10,000 men marching forward called man is the reading over here. Now we have two legs, the left moving backwards to the back, the right marching forward, with a stroke, number 1 at the top, that looks like a weapon carried on the shoulder. That's why you see 10,000 men marching. Good. Round, full. This is the kanji for 9, without this stroke over here. Now 9, rounded off with extra stroke. Perfect, round. Next we have to cross. 6 at the top, we have a cross over here, and 6 crossing the street. Next, capital. You will see this especially in Tokyo, right? We have a lid at the top, we have mouth, and we have small. Now, lid on mouth, which is small, to protect people in the capital from viruses. Does that sound familiar? In other words, a mask to prevent viruses in the capital. Next, we have now. You will see this almost everywhere. So we have at the top a human radical seen as a roof. We're going to use this going forward. And here, katakana for ra. Now, ra takes a break under the roof right now. Number 86, to meet. At the top again, we have the human radical, or can be seen as a roof. We have the number 2 over here, and katakana for mu, also looks like a chair. Now the mnemonic is 2 chairs under the roof to meet. That's where we're going to meet. Next is what. So we have at the left the person radical, as you can see here, for human, and here we have this kanji we're going to learn right now is acceptable. Now it's acceptable to try and put one hook in your mouth. Have you seen those people on TV putting stuff in their, like fire sticks and stuff in their mouth, like swords? But yeah, it's acceptable. Now mnemonic number 1 is saying person puts one hook in mouth. What? And then mnemonic number 2, person knows what's acceptable. So you can choose whichever you want. Next, to make, build, production. Now to make, person on the left side, 2 mnemonics we have here. So person on the left with a saw looking shape over here, ready to make something. Now the second mnemonic is better in my opinion. So person on the left climbing the T. Here you can see there's a T with 2-step ladder on the right to make a solar board or solar panel at the top left, which is here. This is the solar board. Next we have body, pretty easy. So person on the left, then we have a book which we've covered before. So person reads a book learning about the body. Easy. Next, even easier, origin. 2 human legs, as we've studied before, often same origin, of the same origin. So 2 human legs of the same origin. You might hear a helicopter right now. Good. Next is older brother. We have mouth at the top, human legs at the bottom. Covered both before. The only thing you have to know is the mnemonic to get this kanji instantly. You never have to come back. My older brother is all mouth and legs. That's it. Next, light. So we have here again human legs at the bottom, we have a lid at the top, and speaking of light, we have these kind of light or arms going up. So 2 mnemonics. Light, the 2 small strokes, shines from the lid, lifted by human legs. Or the second one, which is in my case I like the best. A candle is this one over here, this candle standing up. So candle, shining light, 2 small strokes over here, the light from the candle, on the tabletop with legs. Good. Next we have public. Very easy. We have 8 at the top and we have the katakana for mu. Also looks like a chair, or you can see it as a nose in this case. We have 2 mnemonics. Number 1 being person with closed eyes. These are the closed eyes. And big nose in public. Or number 2 is 8 at the top. Chairs in public. 8 chairs in public. Inside. So we have human over here, and we have upside down box. We've covered both before. Just the mnemonic is saying person jumps inside, like so, upside down box, inside. Sword, knife. Very simple. It looks like the katakana for ka, right? And so the mnemonic reads cutting off Ka's head with sword. Oh, the Ka's for katakana is actually from here, right, going downwards. Use the sword to cut off the top. That's sword. Next we have kanji number 96. Pretty quick, right? To cut. Now we have 7 on the left and we have sword on the right. Now 7 swords to cut different things. You know, you also have different knives, like a bread knife, a steak knife, and an eating knife. In this case, we have 7 swords to cut different things. Number 97, we have divide, 8 and sword. You put 8 on sword to divide in a minute. Understand? Or you can just say 8 gets divided. It's fine to divide 8, but if you want to go further and just say divide it in minutes. Do you understand? Good. Next is before or in front. Now here the radical is ri. Looks like ri, right? But it's a sword actually. So the radical for, if you break it down, for this sword becomes this ri. And the horns at the top, or grass or plant, we've done this before, and the 1, and here we have month or moon. The story mnemonic goes, worms in ground, comes out full moon, so use sword to cut them before they turn into werewolves. If you get that mnemonic going, you will never forget this. Next, north. Keeping in mind that the font for some kanji may differ, if the same for the alphabet, right? If you're on the PC, if you're writing the kanji, it may differ, and it's not wrong that it differs, but just look here, I made some notes here if it differs. So north looks like hi in katakana, sitting, pointing up, sitting with up points, toes up, pointing up. And on the left we have the PC font over here, which is a bit different, right? Now we see this as split wood. Looks different depending on the font. Two pieces of split wood over here and here, stuck in left side of tree. Here's the tree. And the mnemonic goes, he used pointy toes to split wood and point north. Basically, the person here is taking toes and everything and split wood to point to the north. Noon, we have at the top seen as a gun, so whoop. This is a whoop, by the way. We've done this before. You whoop number 1. You whoop 1 to shoot the gun. So this is a gun. This is 10, right? So get guns at 10 to hunt for noon. Perfect. I'm gonna do the next 20 very soon. If you want this file, please check the description. If you want it for even cheaper, please join the Patreon. You will get in-context studying with the JLBT in 5-1, even though it's more aimed at basic to native decks, to pass your exam or to go from basic to native. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one. Matane.